Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and possibly good night, and welcome to another Senior Spotlight. My name is Jason Wilson. Alongside me today is Jack Melanson. Jack, how are you?
Good, how are you, man?
I'm doing splendid, but we're here to talk about you most importantly. Let's talk about beginning, middle, and possibly the end. Let's talk about beginning. You are originally from Stoneham.
Yes,
Correct.
I am.
Right. We're going to talk about a little bit of early childhood here, which is
Okay.
going to lead us into a capstone. We just had a conversation with Thomas Martell about how he deals with his capstone. It has to do with his past. You grew up in Stoneham with two lovely parents who took care of you,
Yep.
in which you actually had a capstone about them
Yes, I did.
that had to do with you. You want to go
Yes.
talk about that?
So, I grew up from a lot more different from a normal kid would be growing up. So, I have dyslexia, and I also have apraxia. And my mom was very worried about me growing up. I didn't speak for, I think it was 13 months after I was born. And she was getting worried about me. So she taught me sign language, brought me to doctors, and they were trying to figure out what was wrong. They took pictures of my brain. They found that I had dyslexia and apraxia. So apraxia is something that's in your brain, and your brain thinks so fast, but you can't speak out the words coming out right. And dyslexia, I have a reading disability, writing disability, every disability you can think of. No, I'm joking. And it was hard growing up. Stoneham is a very small school, small town, and I went through school in the special ed program and smaller classes. And I remember going to school and I hating it, being like, why am I not a normal kid? And crying to my mom, crying to my dad. And what really helped me was sports. Playing sports really helped me get through it because I couldn't talk to the kids at school because I was in the smaller classrooms, and the only way to talk to them was through sports. One of my buddies, when I grew up with, loved soccer. I don't really have the body of a soccer player, or back then I really didn't. I was just tall. I had a basketball body, and soccer wasn't really my thing. And then I ended up loving it because I loved running around. And I was a lot more bigger than all the other kids because how tall I was. I was probably 5'8" at like 11 years old, maybe. Like I was Wembanyama, and and it was really fun to play sports. Soccer, played flag football, basketball, and then once I got to high school, I dropped a lot, and I didn't play basketball. I played track. I wasn't a huge fan of the coach, and I ended up doing track. So then I was a four-sport athlete in high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Come a long way since then.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you're dealing with dyslexia and apraxia at such a young age, along with your parents going through a lot of different struggles to try and get you in the best programs possible so then you are set up for success. Within your documentary for Capstone, you go over a lot of this, and you go through their essential point of view, as well as come off in the ending and say your little piece at the end. We're going to play a quick little clip from that for the trailer for Jack's documentary.
So Jack's first year, second grade, first new school, we had the bus. The bus picks him up for his first day of second grade in his new school with his new special ed teacher. Want that one?
And I happened to get a call about 8:30 that Jack had been dropped off at the middle school. So I was speaking to Mr. Banos, who was the principal at that time, and he was nice enough to take Jack over to the central school in Stoneham, where it's right around the corner from the middle school. So we got that corrected rather quickly, but it gave us a good opportunity to meet Mr. Banos, who was the, like I say, principal at the middle school, and he was still there when Jack ended up getting up into the middle school.
So that's a little trailer from Jack's documentary. Jack, you worked very, very hard on this thing, and it took multiple reshoots. And I think this is the first time you're going to actually really, really talk about it. What went through the process of making this?
I was talking to one of my buddies who already did Capstone, and I wanted to get a head start of it because it was about my dyslexia and going to school. And I wanted to get teachers involved into it, so I went up I emailed my teachers who I wanted to be in a part of it, and I did it over the summer. Not knowing that there was different things you had to do, like lighting was one of them, different stuff that our professor wanted us to do in our capstone, and I didn't do it over the summer, which caused me doing it into the fall. I had a lot of microphone issues. That was always a problem for me for some reason, was just audio. I don't know why. And I wanted to, my parents knew the story, but they wanted to be like, oh, there's actually more, there's actually more, there's actually more, there's actually more. And I was like, all right, let's reshoot. All right, let's reshoot. Oh, that's important. Let's reshoot again. And it was just an ongoing thing. And I was just like, you know what, this is just going to be fine. And I didn't really know what the time was. Later found out it was 3 episodes, 5 minutes. I couldn't do that at all because my story growing up was just so much. What I had to go through was a lot for a kid, especially who was my age back then. And for a young kid, it's not easy because when you grow up, all you see is friends. It's kind of hard when you make friends and then you transfer to another school in the same town, not even moving out. It's just a different school in the same town. And you find out the reason why you moved school was because of you, basically. Mm-hmm. Usually it's someone you moved out, but it's just like they don't support you. And 8th grade, I went to summer school a lot, and that was a big problem for me. I did not like summer school because summer is for the kids, and that's camps and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Nope, I went to a school still. And then 8th grade happened, and my parents applied me to another dyslexia school. They came and found out that I'm too dyslexic to go to that school. So that kind of shows you what my life was. Just being a kid who called himself stupid. And his mom always told him that you have a superpower that a lot of people don't have. So taking that with a grain of salt and proving a lot of people wrong. And coming to the school, I wanted to show that video of me growing up. That was my plan this whole time. Going to school, I was going to be saying, I'm going to change this. I'm going to change the way, I'm going to change myself. I really wasn't the most, I was always underrated in high school, always underrated my whole life. No one really knew who I was. So coming out into Dean, I was going to say, I'm going to put my name on a board or something and think about what's going on. So my capstone really showed what I went through and to get to where I am now.
And you've come a long, long way since then, and I've seen that growth over time. We actually knew each other freshman year. We took the same video production class.
Oh yeah, we made a lot of TV, guys.
We made a lot of TV.
Oh yeah.
We made a lot of TV. And I gotta say, getting to know you way back when, we didn't know each other as well as we do now. But you have really grown as a person since then. You were very sociable back then, and now you've gotten a lot more professional, and you've shown up and shown out and gotten, especially when it comes to your skills in video making, it has excelled since then.
I wouldn't say it's professional, though.
I wouldn't say it's professional, but it's charismatic, it's fun, but your editing style has gotten a lot better, and especially has just gotten a lot more clean cut, to say it the least. Not professional, though.
Not professional.
Not professional whatsoever. You actually should not even be in this room.
No.
So.
Shout out Greg. Purple turtles. I love purple turtles.
But as we were kind of talking about, you've grown a lot since your freshman year. What's something that's really kind of made you step towards different directions and essentially evolving over your time here at Dean?
Going into freshman year, I didn't really know what to do. And then sophomore year, I met 2 of probably my best friends for life, my girlfriend Chloe and Josiah Flynn. Meeting Josiah Flynn definitely changed the way of a lot of things. I hated editing. I hated editing so much. And he told me saying, if you don't edit, people aren't going to see your vision. And if you send them your footage, it's not going to be the result you are going to want. So he taught me a lot. I mean, I think a lot more than people down here for teaching and stuff. And he taught me so much that how to be outgoing and stuff, to not really care what people think, and just be you. Chloe's also taught me that too. Just be you. A lot of people will follow along. The fans will come. I've had people say that you're probably the next Jake Paul on campus, and which is the like it's not even like the first time either. It's been the multiple brand people. I mean, I've walked down to Boomers one night and someone's like, "You're the kid with a small tie." Nice. Like, okay, I don't know what to do about that, but like, it's funny to see that because it's like, wow, people actually watch me or something. The people know who I am, and just showing the work. I mean, a lot of people who go to school, when they make films, they're scared to they're scared to screen them, and I feel like if you laugh, people will laugh, and that's what helped me a lot.
And you definitely make people laugh, to say it the least. You've come out with plenty of different videos, working alongside Josiah as well as Chloe, to create some pretty funny stories and bring it to the screen, as well as coming out of the green room and really just making these editing masterpieces in some way, shape, or form. I remember a couple of the big videos that come off the mind is Super Size Me Dean, where you worked alongside Chloe for that one. That was pretty funny. We'll play a couple clips in the background as B-roll. But you've really just like grown over time with your editing, as well as working alongside Josiah to create some amazing stuff as well. You guys came up with Bean TV together within Dean TV as being both a part of the class. Let's talk a little bit more about that, actually.
Okay.
Dean TV, where it come from? I know where it came from, but the people out there don't know where it came from.
So, Bean TV was originally supposed to be shot like no one was supposed to be there. No one was supposed to know about it, and we were supposed to do it in the science building, in the auditorium, until we realized we don't have enough cameras. And we're like, crap. And usually if you sign out a camera here, you have to sign out and let Pete or Greg know what you're doing with the camera. So you couldn't do that. So we're like, we're going to screw it, and we're just going to shoot in here. Bite the bullet. And originally it was supposed to be like, I forget the guy's name. Some show. Oh my God, I forget
Eric Andre.
Eric Andre, there you go. It was supposed to be like that, just some goofy nonsense of an interview styled show, and Josiah was the host and I was the co-host, and we just went wherever was on their head, just say it. And just that was the show. Last year, me and Josiah were called the night before, being like, what are we doing? It's like, I don't know, we'll just screw around, we'll just see what happens, and that's usually what the videos were. I didn't have a script. I'm not really good at scripts. As you can see, was past DNN segments. I'm not good at scripts. I can't even read. There's no sports this week. So, I mean, like, I'm dyslexic. I can't read. So, I don't really know what you expect me to do with a script, but just going out and freeballing it. A lot of the stuff, we have an idea of it, but we'll just kind of kitty corner it. We'll just see what happens and how people react to it. And that's what Bean TV was. We weren't going to do it this year till me and Josiah went to the same class, and we're like, you know what? Our professor's given us the subjects. Let's just do it again, and it's just going to be shorter, and that's what it was.
And you guys have done a great job of making those shorts as well.
A lot of people would say, but our professor will not say that.
Because they're not, once again, not necessarily professional.
They're not professional.
They're not professional whatsoever, but I think that just makes them funny. You guys come out with these absurd humor skits as well as just stuff that's essentially on the fly. I remember the first one you guys posted with Archer,
Yes.
which is such like it essentially led you guys to doing bits later on and continuing certain ones. So like Josiah's name on camera, as well as just the guy, Curious George. He doesn't know your name in the beginning at all. And there's so many like little bits that if you keep paying attention throughout each video, you start to understand. And I think it's one of those projects that grows over time, and you grow a fondness for. I remember when you were slowly posting out season 1, they just got better over time, and it was great to see the both of you grow with each episode. And it was always just it's such great stuff. I have it playing in the background, and you guys have created something that's fun, enjoyable, and the wild thing is people want to get involved consistently.
Yes.
You know, once you guys released, I think it was the first couple episodes, you guys started getting a lot of traction from a lot of communication students to start hopping on.
Yes, a ton. A lot of people wanted to be the guest. A lot of people wanted to be a host. People wanted to wear the monkey mask. And it was just a lot for me and Josiah because we had really no plan for it. We just kind of freeballed it, as I said before, and just said, no one's going to watch this, let's just post it. And it kind of backfired on us.
In a good way.
Yeah, it did. And we were just, it was, our crew were all seniors last year.
Mm-hmm.
And we really didn't have a crew for coming this year. So we were just like, that's our last thing. And we filmed 6 episodes, and Josiah kept on falling asleep on posting them. Mm-hmm. So we have them all, we have a lot of episodes actually coming out. He just doesn't post them. But we also did the I Am podcast that you were in. And we tested that out for Bean TV. And that actually did get some traction to it too. Surprisingly. The I Am podcast was I actually liked the I Am podcast.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
That was really good. We did it for a class, and I think the first episode was, I think the bit was I showed up late because I got Santa Fe, because we did it on a Monday. And I think I showed up late. Josiah did the whole intro, and it's like, what are you doing? You're late. And then I show up, and we go, what'd you get? Food? Nothing for me? And then we did it. And the entire episode was about GTA 6, which is so out of date now.
Yeah.
Because it was the original date that they came out with.
It was the original date. It was everything, but it was just all BS information.
We just kept coming up with stuff on the fly. Yes. And we'll play a couple of the clips.
And it's funny because our professor was just like, it's like he fell for it, but the only problem was the first bit of you walking in late. Remember that?
Yes. Yes.
The one bit, everything else was a bit, but the one actual bit was you walking in late, and that's the only thing that threw him off.
And I think that's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
It's something that the one thing that was planned in there was the only thing that we truly planned. I started talking about how you can become a crocodile.
Yep.
You talked about
I want to be an actor. Yep.
And it's always a question of what kind. I think we were talking about raising kids in GTA 6.
Yep. Yep. You can start a family.
We came up with a lot of stuff, and I think the funniest part is if you look back to the footage, is just looking at you specifically, because I don't think you were prepared for how much I was ready to just make up stuff.
You guys did a lot of research before me. And you guys didn't even do research.
Yeah.
I didn't do any research at all. I don't know, I just kind of got lost.
Well, I used my learning disability to my advantage with ADHD and just started popping off. So we used both our learning disabilities to our advantage within that podcast, essentially. Yeah. And I think that was so much fun. But we're going to move back a little bit. Over your time here at Dean, you've learned a lot, and there's been a lot of different professors over your time here that essentially shaped you into the creator that you are today. What sort of guidance has led you to be who you are?
Guidance? I feel like I wasn't really too much of a person the first 2 years coming here. Our are Greg and Pete. They really didn't know who I was till I showed them the car video. And then they found out who I was, and that was end of sophomore year. And then junior year is when I connected more with Greg and Pete. And they started noticing my films. And I think, shout out Greg, he really helps me for the real world after Dean.
Mm-hmm.
I know my stuff isn't professional. But going to the real world, it will help me. Like, obviously, I have a lot of skills. I can bring the serious in,
Mm-hmm.
but going right now, it's Dean College. And I have to, and I don't know, I want to get the goofy stuff out first, then bring the serious in after.
And I think that's a great point because with your comedic work comes dramatic work.
Yeah.
You have Mad Jack the Clown, which obviously it's a horror spoof comedy to an extent, though it comes with a dramatic, as well as your documentary. Your documentary really shows you your skills when it comes to fully fleshing out the story, which once again, like, it's very well made. You can see the heart in it. I remember when my parents, they watched it. Due to me growing up with ADHD, my parents had to go through the process of trying to find the correct programs for myself. My brother, at a young age, he did not talk at all. Now he doesn't shut up. But at the end of the day, like, they went through those struggles. Similar to your parents went through a whole lot more. And, like, my parents commend yours for what they went through. But going back to your work, like, your work shows that you can do the serious stuff while also doing the silly at the same time. And I think it shows you how versatile you are as a creator, just overall, because before you came to Dean, you had a little bit of a different gig going on where you actually were an interviewer.
Yes, I did. Senior year of high school, I got offered an internship at Storm TV, and that was the first time ever someone actually did a TV station for an internship at my high school. And I did a really good job, and that the school actually now offers it to, or the TV station now offers it to the school. Now it's a full-time thing, and I was kind of the test subject.
Mm-hmm.
And I did Jackish. That was the interview thing, and my buddies I grew up with, the Pointer Brothers, who are now very famous on TikTok. They have like 3 million followers right now, and on TikTok probably maybe more. But back then they weren't really anything, and I got to do an interview with them, and it was amazing. And that's what really kicked me off to be like, wow, I actually like doing this. And that's what kept pushing me to do it more. I did an interview with my parents, and that was kind of like the start of the documentary, or like the little tease of the documentary of what really happened. And it was a really cool experience to learn from Storm TV and bring those skills into where I am now. I wasn't going in blind, I should say, going into Dean. Like, I knew what was going on.
And, like, with that, you had this whole ideology of what you really sort of wanted to do. What made you end up picking up Dean?
The studio. I really liked the studio. All the colleges I looked at didn't really have a studio. I like how it was a small campus. I wish our sports teams was a little bit more better, but that's all right. Good shout out field hockey.
Shout out field hockey.
Shout out field hockey. Lacrosse, it's pretty good, but yeah, all right. All right, shout out volleyball.
Maybe women's volleyball.
But I didn't want to play sports going into Dean. I kind of just wanted to drop it all and just focus on academics. And I really liked how all the teachers knew as a person and not just a number. That was a really big thing going into school for me. I'm not really good at change, especially into a school. I mean, my parents, as my documentary, were behind my back the whole entire 12 years of school. Now I'm left alone, and it's kind of on you now. The school doesn't want to talk to your parents, they want to talk to you, and that's what helped me.
I think that was a big reason why I chose Dean as well. I fell in love with the campus. I fell in love with the ideology of professors getting to know you, and that personal relationship really takes you a lot further as well, because it allows you to really refine your skills, like having the conversation with Greg, as well as faculty like Pete, professors like John Rook, the whole nine, like getting to get that sort of hands-on help, as well as them being available to you and knowing you by name is truly helpful, especially with it being a small school. So I think that also led to a lot of different friendships. You had a lot of friendships throughout Dean College as well.
I came in with 4 great friends, Matt, Jason, Jake, and they transferred out. 1 graduated, 1 transferred, and 1 commutes now.
Mm-hmm.
So now I was just kind of left in a pothole for a second, and that's when I found Chloe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what helped me stay through as strong. I was going to transfer out. I was about to go to Endicott. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a chance. I don't know. I had a feeling that if I stay, something's going to happen. And of course, something happened, and I got recognized, and that's helped.
I think I was in the same boat my freshman year. I was little at like a little bit of a rocky point. We actually spoke about this over the summer, about how I didn't know if I wanted to come back, and I was thinking about transferring because I felt like I didn't really have too many people here at school. But if it wasn't for, ironically, my girlfriend Olivia, her coming into my life, I really just decided to give Dean another shot. And like I also had a lot of stuff going on as well, like on the broadcasting as well as DNN side of things, that really just made me go, why would I throw this all away?
Yeah.
Like I've learned so much over my time. But going back into more of a personal level of things, we got to know each other a little bit more.
Yes.
Basically over the summer. And
Yes.
ironically, similar to my conversation with Martel, you were supposed to be my roommate this year, but somebody ruined that for me and Tom.
Sorry guys, my bad.
It's all
Yeah, how
good.
about you come up here and talk
Yeah,
about
why don't you
it?
come over here?
Yeah, why don't
Huh?
you come up here and talk?
Yeah. You ruined a fantastic group of individuals.
Hi friends, it's not my fault my roommate decided to be an RA. I was left homeless, so thanks for saving me.
Who are you?
I'm Jack's girlfriend, Chloe.
Wow, shout out. I'm going to cut that. Yeah, like,
All right, time to resume back into things. We got to talk a lot over the summer, just about a lot of different things. We found out that we had a lot in common. Like we spoke about growing up with learning disabilities, being a little bit more on the quiet side during high school, and then wanting to reinvent ourselves within college. And that's got me to know who you are. Who you are, a caring individual who cares so much about others around them. You are one of the hardest workers I know here on this campus, and you are so incredibly creative. And it's true.
okay.
And to see your ideas come to life every single time you put mouse to screen, essentially, when it comes to your editing, it's amazing to see. And getting to know you over this past summer, as well as throughout this past year, a little bit more than I did during our freshman year video production 1 class. It's been truly grateful to be working alongside you, alongside multiple other projects as well. I mean, we even made a film together.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were the bully, and
Yeah. I was the bully.
you were the bully. You were Butters.
Butter Johnson.
Butters
Yes.
Johnson. Yep.
Jason made me do that film blind. I had no clue what was happening. He just said, do this, do that. And I said, okay. And final product, I was the bully the whole time and I didn't even know. Like,
And I think it was supposed to be cringy. It was supposed to be cheesy, and like I think that made it a little bit on the funny side of things. Just everything that happened, and working alongside you for that, alongside other things like Bean TV as well, and then other little projects that you wanted me to work on. I was in Mad Jack the Clown. I was very happy
Yep.
to be a part of that, where you guys put a GoPro on me.
that was fun.
And I thought I almost got a concussion because I banged my head against the floor because I knocked out.
Could have knocked out.
I could have actually knocked myself out on that one, but you're such a creative individual, and to get to know you over these past 4 years, and especially these past 2, has really meant a lot to me.
Thank you. Same for you.
So yeah, but that about does it for myself and Jack here in the Senior Spotlight. For more Senior Spotlights, they're down below in the description alongside the playlist, so that you guys can get to know a little bit more about these seniors on their way out. And before we go, because I almost forgot to ask you this one last question.
Great. Yep.
If you were to give advice to someone who's just joining college and getting into college, what would it be?
Balance. You have to balance. I mean, right now school's expensive, and especially Dean. And you want to balance your friendships, your sleep, and your homework. I think that's the triangle I looked at, and picking 2 a day to find out what it was, and balancing it on Sunday to wrap it all together made it really helpful for me. Friends come a long way, or come aside. They will come to you. Don't panic. I also say this a lot. Shit happens. Just let it happen. And my girlfriend suffered last year, and I just said, look, shit happens, and it will come, and one day it will change, and you'll get the last laugh of everything. And I wouldn't panic.
Yeah. Go with the flow and
Yeah.
try to keep balance the best you can.
Yeah.
Control the controllable.
Yes. Sure.
Great words. Sure. Well, thank you, Jack, for coming here for Senior Spotlight.
Thanks for having me.
You're here basically almost every week, similar to Tom. And I want to congratulate you once again on getting the Deanie this year as well.
Thank you. Thanks for the e-board team.
One of our most prestigious awards here at DNN for taking DNN and running with it, especially with your Bean Boozle video way back when. But that about does it for us here for this Senior Spotlight, officially this time. For the other Senior Spotlights, y'all already know what they are. Playlist down below alongside the description. For more Jack, you can check him out wherever. He's going to be down below in the description as well. And that about does it for us. Good afternoon, good evening, and possibly good night. Fade to black.